Do not have these kind of thoughts in your mind. They destroy the way you think about your English, the way you speak, your confidence while speaking English, and this creates a major problem. Hello everybody. How are you all? Hope that you are great. Welcome back to another session of Speaking English with me. Today we are going to cover something really important that is related to your speaking English in public. So this is something related to when you speak English in public. And that is the main purpose of learning English, isn't it? That you're able to speak English in front of others, to be able to communicate confidently. Now this particular problem that arises, that I have heard, is people are scared of speaking English in public. So being scared of speaking English in public. What I've heard is that people say that they know English, they can speak English, they're also doing their English speaking practice, yet whenever they speak English in front of others, whenever they speak English in public, they're scared of it. They're scared of speaking English. They avoid such situations, and whenever they're faced with such situations, they feel nervous. Now, this is a common problem. If you are facing this problem, then today I'm going to discuss in details about this particular problem, and this is going to be a very important video for you. Today's session is going to be all about how you can overcome this particular problem and how you can speak English in public confidently. Whether there are 2 people in front of you or 1000, doesn't matter. So let's decode what does it take to speak confident English in public. Are you ready for it? I'm Shivangi Gupta, your CELTA certified English language tutor, and let's begin with this particular video. Before beginning, I just want to specify one thing, that whenever I say that I am a CELTA certified English language tutor, I do not say this in order to show you or to just show off. No. My purpose is not to show off. My purpose is that I want you to know that you are at a trustable place. You are at a place where you can easily learn English and where you can learn English in the correct way, correct manner. So I tell you because so that you know you are at a place where you can trust your tutor, trust the learning process, that this is going to really benefit you. So let's begin with today's session now. Speaking English in front of others, speaking English in public, this is something that is a part of our daily life. That is the purpose of learning a language, so that we can speak it and interact with other people. If you're not able to speak it in front of others, I think then the purpose of learning that particular language is nil, is void. That is, it's not useful or fruitful. In order to make it fruitful, we must be able to speak confidently whenever we are in public. This problem is faced by a lot of people who are good at English. Even they face this problem, that they're comfortable in speaking in English whenever they are alone, when they are practicing. They know good English, they can speak English, but then suddenly when they face the situation that they have to speak something in front of others, they have to speak English in public, they start feeling nervous. It's like sometimes they feel dizzy, they break into sweat, their hands start shaking. These are the common symptoms that one faces whenever they are having this fear of speaking English in public. And if you have faced this problem, I'm sure you must have faced one of these symptoms. Heartbeat increasing, you can hear your heartbeat in your ear, your hands are shaking, or you might feel your hands getting cold or sweaty. So these are all the symptoms, and often these problems, they arise because you have some fears. There are certain fears within yourself, in your subconscious mind, that you might even not be aware about. Often, English speakers are not aware about the problems they are facing or the fears that they have. They do not even realize it, and then they face this problem. So one of the most important aspects of eradicating this problem is that to understand the cause. If you have understood the cause, 50% of problem is solved then and there. So let's discuss about some of the causes why you might be feeling this way. When you speak English, this is not your first language. That's why you feel uncomfortable speaking in English. Now, as an adult, when you speak English in front of somebody, what happens is that often you feel scared. You feel that you might be get judged upon your English, the kind of English that you're speaking. The other person is going to judge you, or the people who are listening to you, they might judge you. They might judge your intelligence, your personality, the overall who you are based upon the way you are speaking English. Often I've seen people think like this, and sometimes this happens. But the thing is that the way you speak English does not define who you are. Your intelligence, your personality, your capabilities, your skills, it's not defined by the way you are speaking English. So if you are making some mistakes, you need to accept it. You need to be brave enough to still speak in English. So common problems, common fear that a lot of people face, I'm going to list them down, and I want you to recognize, do you also face one of these fears? I'm going to list all the fears, possible fears that people face. Now listen carefully and try to recognize. What happens is, you might think that the other person is going to judge you on your English. Fear number 2, that the other person is going to laugh at your English, or maybe make fun of you because you're not speaking proper English. Fear number 3, you're scared of making any mistakes while speaking English. Fear number 4, you think that if you're going to make a mistake, it will reflect badly on your reputation, or maybe badly on your personality. That is, your personality, overall persona, your first impression is going to get distorted. That is, the first impression that you're making on the person, it's not good. You think that the making mistake is a blunder. Fear number 5, you think that the people who are listening to you, they might be a better speaker than you, and hence you feel scared because the other person speaks better English. That's why you feel nervous in talking in English to that particular person. Another fear, you feel insecure about your speaking skills. You think that your English is not good enough in general. Even if you don't know the person, even if you don't know the speaking capabilities of the other person, individually you think that your speaking skills are not good enough. So these are common fears that are faced by everybody who's learning to speak English as their second language at some point in their learning journey, in their speaking journey. If you are able to relate to any one of these, please do not have these kind of thoughts in your mind. They destroy the way you think about your English, the way you speak, your confidence while speaking English, and this creates a major problem. This is the major barrier. All these fears, they are the major barrier whenever you're speaking English in public. Now we have covered all the fears that you might be facing, why this problem arises. I am going to talk about the main causes and the solutions to them now. It's very important for you to understand all these points because this is going to help you to speak fluent English whenever you are in public. This will help you gain confidence. So point number 1 is, the cause number 1, that you're not confident enough to speak in English. And this lack of confidence is making you nervous whenever you're in public sphere, whenever you have the situation that you have to speak English in front of others, you have to speak English in public. So this lack of confidence is what you need to overcome. And in order to overcome that lack of confidence, you have to constantly work upon your English speaking skills. Plus, do not take stress about it. Do not try to measure everything after every 2 days, 1 week, 1 month. Accept that English, learning English or speaking English is a journey. And even if it is a process, a long process, that is okay. Learning anything can be a lifelong process if you enjoy it, because you cannot master this in one go. And I'm not saying that you're going to take your whole life to learn English. No, it's not like that. But if you will see it like this, if you will have this kind of perspective that learning English is a journey that I'm gonna enjoy, you might feel less stressed about it. Hence, you might also gain some confidence. You need to accept whatever you're doing, whatever mistakes you're making, that's okay. And you have to have faith on your speaking skills. Be calm, be composed whenever you're speaking, and you will be more confident. So have confidence, and whenever you're presented with this kind of situation, take a deep breath, relax yourself, speak slowly, and speak English confidently. At whatever level you are, whatever English you know, speak that English confidently. Another problem or the cause is that the lack of spoken English exposure. That is, you're not exposed to situations where you have to speak English. You're not exposed to the practice of speaking English. And when I say practice of speaking English, I'm not talking about the practice that you do when you're alone. No, I'm talking about the practice of speaking English in the real life situations. In real life, the real situations. You have less exposure to those kinds of situations when you were growing up. And now as an adult, it is really difficult for you to adjust to that change, because the thing is that as an adult you feel more responsible, that everything should be perfect. Whatever I do, I should do it perfectly, because other people, they're going to judge me. And hence the thing is that because of this less exposure, you're not able to speak proper English, and hence in fear of other people judging you, you avoid the situations where you are required to talk to other person in English, the public situations where you have to speak in English. So the thing is that the solution for this particular problem is speak more English. Also, do your English speaking practice whenever you're at home. Plus, speak in English whenever you're getting an opportunity. Whenever you're presented with the task of speaking in English in public, do not be scared. Okay? Don't think that the people are going to judge me, they'll make fun of me. Do not feel nervous. Just speak. Have faith on yourself and speak. That's okay. Whatever is the reaction of other person, that's okay. Let it go. And I don't think so that a person who's capable in themselves, they're gonna make fun of you. Believe me. Somebody who might be insecure themselves, they might make fun. That's what I have seen in my life, that if you are not insecure yourself, you will not do that. So if somebody is making fun of you, let the person go. There are going to be people who are going to encourage you that you're doing good, and keep on working on the good points. Focus on that and speak in English whenever you're presented with a public situation where you are required to speak in English. The cause number 3, the main cause, is a very common cause that you also know, the fear of making mistakes while speaking in English. So this particular fear, you're not responsible if you're feeling this particular fear. It's okay, I can understand. But the thing is that when we are feeling this fear, we have to overcome this particular thing, because this is hindering you from speaking in English, and this is also hindering you from progressing in speaking fluent English. This can be a biggest hindrance in your progress, this fear that you have of making mistakes. Now, why do people actually face this particular fear of making mistakes? Because as an adult, you think now you're an adult, if you make mistakes, people are going to judge you or they might react badly to it. You think that it's okay. As a children to make mistakes, it was acceptable. Now, as you are an adult, you need to do everything perfectly. And that thinking, that particular thinking, give rise to this particular fear of making mistakes. What if I make mistake when I speak in English? And that is why one of the reasons why you're scared to speak in English in public. Now the thing is that you need to overcome this particular fear. Even if you're making mistake, start speaking in English, because if you don't take that first step of speaking in English, you're never going to speak in English in public places. You'll always face this fear and you will hide behind somebody else. You won't raise your hand whenever you're asked something in a conference. You might get reluctant. You might be scared of not answering things. and you might avoid the situation whenever you are required to speak in English in public, in front of an audience. Now, overcome this particular problem and start speaking in English whenever you find an opportunity. Even if you are making mistakes, that's okay. Work on the improvement of your English. If you are working constantly to improve your English, the fear of making mistakes will not arise because you'll have a faith that I am working on my English and I'm going to improve one day. So when you'll work on it, you will improve. Slowly and gradually, by hit and trial, you will improve. So the thing is that you need to start speaking, because if you won't speak, you're not even going to make any progress, because you need to start speaking. That is the first step. And every skill that you learn has this particular problem that you make mistakes. And this is same with any skill that you're learning. Speaking English is a skill, and whenever you learn a skill, this happens, whether it's playing a piano or playing cricket, whether it's music, sport, whatever is the skill, you are going to improve by making mistakes. Your mistakes, they make you learn the positive aspect, they make you realize what is right, what is wrong, and hence you improve. They are necessary, they are a part of your learning. So overcome this fear of making mistakes, this fear that I make mistake, what if I'll make mistake? That's okay. Make mistakes, as many as you want in the beginning, and then try to improve them, try to reduce them. That is the right track. Think about all the points that I have discussed today. Try to realize when and where do you find problem, which problem are you facing from all the problems that I've listed, and focus on the solution that I've provided to you. So that's it for today. That was it. The 3 main causes why you face this fear, why you're scared of speaking English in public, and the possible solutions for those particular problems, the causes. I hope this video was helpful for you, and now you're going to speak English whenever you're in public. Go and speak out. Don't be scared of speaking. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe my channel for one awesome English lesson every day, sharp at 8 AM. Now I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, take care and bye.